Hi, today I'm going to talk about how I run a Retrieve the Data mission, power level 160x4 solo, using 3 and 4 star traps and building in such a way as to be able to AFK the defense. Because it's an AFK build, I'm doing it in private. As with all defense type missions, I'm running a constructor loadout, but in a bit of a departure, I'm using the Ice King in the lead to freeze husks that melee the structures. I'm using Supercharged Traps for the team perk, and I have Mega Base Card to extend base connectivity below 1, Power BASE Knox with power modulation to heal structures, Lofty Architecture to increase the health of structures, Cupid's Arrow for the bow, Survivalist to keep me healed up, and then Banner and Slow Field as my gadgets. The banner is so I can reset my spawn point, and the slow field just in case anything untoward happens. So now I've loaded into the mission, I look up into the sky, locate the balloon, and then make my way over there. Now because it's a nature storm, I'm going to build any structures that the husks are likely to hit out of brick.
Remember how I said that would never, ever happen here? It's happening here.
I'm using walls with doors edited in them because it makes the walls non-targetable. This means smashers don't charge at them and propanes won't throw their tanks at them. It can also affect how lobbers and flingers choose their targets. So smashers and propanes have a 3-tile radius that they'll target, including vertically, so it's important to make sure that all of the walls near the objective are edited with doors. It does mean that you can't place any traps on them, but that shouldn't be necessary with the other traps. So extending out from each of the 4 walls, I'm placing floor tiles. I don't need to upgrade these to full because they're not going to get hit very often. So tier 3 around the structure itself, tier 2 for the floors nearest the structure, and tier 1 for the ones further out. Okay, I'm going to build this wooden ramp up here to place ceilings 2 tiles above the floors. I'm using wood because it's nice and cheap, and then I'm just going to place an additional layer of walls at the top, again making sure that they've got doors edited into them. Now because these are just wood and wood is cheap, I'm going to upgrade these all to tier 3. They shouldn't take any damage at all, but you might get the odd lobber that spawns that throws a projectile at them which will damage them. Okay, so yeah, now they're all tier 3. I'm going to place some anti-air traps on the top here. Now these are tier 5, I admit, but you use exactly the same materials crafting an anti-air trap at tier 1 as you do at tier 2, 3, 4 and 5, so I never use anything other than tier 5 anti-air traps. These anti-air traps, 2 times range, 2 times reload, 1 times durability and heals builds attached. They're really only there to stop any lava projectiles. They're not going to deal with anything that a flinger throws up there. But now I've built the basic structure, what I'm going to do is build my AFK spot. Now this needs to be at least 6 tiles above the ground to make sure that you can't be targeted by lobbers and flingers and mini bosses can't teleport up there, etc. I seem to have messed up that jump there. So yeah, just use these pillars. I don't need to upgrade this at all. Some vertical jump pads and just bounce my way up. Staying close to the objective because the storm will close in, so I can't be too far away. And once I'm high enough, I'm just going to extend this platform out a bit and place down my banner. That means if I do need to drop down for any reason in case a smasher does go off script or flingers need to be dealt with, I can jump down, deal with them and then get knocked and respawn up out of the way. I don't want to move up there whilst the husks are around because that can affect their pathing and they might actually bash down the pillars. Okay, so now I've placed built my AFK spot. Now I need to put some traps on the roof. I'm going to use tyre traps. I'm going to use tier 4 tyre traps here. These ones are high durability and high reload speed, and that just means that they will go off often enough. You can use, I have used power level 77 traps, but I have more tier 4 materials than I do tier 3 materials at the moment, so I'm going to use these. Now I'm placing them with my back facing the way I want the husk to be pushed. Here I'm placing it pointing towards the structure because on this ramp or this uneven ground I want them to be knocked over and fall down. And then I'm going to use these power level 77 floor freeze traps, triple durability, double reload speed and effect duration. So if they have effect duration on them and 2 times reload, that means any husk that gets frozen on one will get stuck on it and won't be able to get off it. I've actually watched a husk be stood on a single floor freeze trap in twine endurance and not be able to get off it for the full duration of the wave over 5 minutes. So I'm placing 2 of these, again facing away from the structure so they will push the husks backwards, and husks that are frozen take additional damage, which means the traps above are going to do additional damage from my team perk and additional damage because the husks are frozen, and also floor freeze traps and the tyre traps will all be pushing the husks away from the objective, so they won't get to bash on the walls all that much. Okay, so that's the build complete. I'm just going to clear out a few of these extra environmental structures and start the mission. Okay, I stand right in the middle when I shoot down the balloon, and that means that I will be pushed up onto the top of the data block. I can then jump from there and place my base directly above, and then a ceiling above that. By putting 2 layers of floors up there, if a husk is thrown up onto the top by a flinger, it will be discouraged from bashing its way through from the top and it will drop down. So now I need to make my way to the AFK spot, which is over on the other side. Get up there as quick as I can so the husks don't start chasing me. And that's it. Now I just need to wait for the data to come down. I'm going to equip a pot shot just in case there's any flingers, but I shouldn't need to do anything now I've stood up here. Okay, so I've slowed this video back down here to show the effects that doors have on smashers. You can see there's a smasher wandering around down at the bottom, completely ignoring the objective. He's not charging at it or anything like that, whereas if you hadn't used doors, that smasher would have gone straight through the middle of it and husks would be pouring in. And I know I said this was completely an AFK build, and I've been moving around on the AFK spot, but even with an AFK build, I don't recommend being completely AFK. You need to listen out for flingers and get rid of those quickly. And there's another smasher there that's just bashed down a tree and is still just wandering around doing nothing. If you look on the minimap as well, you can see there's a mini boss stood underneath me. That can't teleport up to me, it's just going to stand there until it despawns. Okay, we're right at the end now. The last file is downloading. I've not moved off the AFK spot for the entire game. I'm just going to grab this last bit of quartz and have a quicker run around. And you can see that even though I've used low-level traps, or relatively low-level traps, none of them have run out. All of the files were downloaded correctly. Easy mission. Thank you for watching.